I don't have an easy way to check that. I am going to let you check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It appears to be the 23rd, and in fact it should be, because 0.6 is just a little bit more than 1/2 of this. There's the 1/2 of 6.02. And so this exponent, if we just add the exponents here, it's going to come up to 23. It should just stay there. So another kind of problem we can do is we can convert from mole to the mass of the chemical. And the thing we have to know here is this conversion factor. And notice this conversion factor is from the periodic table, and it's going to change every time you get a new chemical. It's going to change every time. But it's still really quite easy. So if you look at the periodic table, say for, well, let's look and see what our first problem is about here, that 1 mole is the atomic mass from the periodic table of whatever element we're talking about, and it looks like we're going to talk about oxygen here. So our conversion factor is going to be that 1 mole of oxygen is how many grams of oxygen? Well, oops. I'm going to do this for right now. We're just talking oxygen atoms. Oxygen atoms now. 1 mole of oxygen is how many grams? Well, I'm going to go to the periodic table. And on the periodic table, I'm going to look at the symbol for oxygen. And down here, I'm going to find something like 15.998 something. So if we're gonna kind of just round this to hundredths place, that's enough significant digits for us, that's going to round to 16.00. So the number of grams in 1 mole of oxygen is 16.00, and I got that from the periodic table. Now, aren't you glad you don't have to actually memorize the entire periodic table, because you'd have to memorize all of those atomic masses as well. So that's what we're going to use for our conversion factor. The thing we know here, of course, in this problem is that we're starting with 15.0 grams of oxygen, and the thing that's unknown that we want to get by the end of this problem is how many moles of oxygen is that? How many moles of oxygen atoms? So 15.0 grams of oxygen atoms, and that symbol just means an oxygen atom. I want my gram unit to cancel out, so I'm going to put grams of oxygen on the bottom, and my conversion factor here, the other thing I convert to, of course, is the thing we're looking for, moles of oxygen. So these factor to 0, or factor to 1, excuse me, and disappear, go away. We don't have to leave them there anymore. And the numbers that go here are moles of oxygen is a 1. Dun, 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 dun. And grams of oxygen is a 16. Dun, 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 dun. So now, if I just hadn't closed, my calculator the last time I used it there, let's see if I'm going to be able to get it to come up. Oh, we're going to experience technical difficulties here for just a moment, but I am going to get my calculator to come up. And there it is. So now let's go back to the problem we were working on and find that calculator, that pesky thing. There it is. Now it all should be easy, relatively easy. 15 divided by 16 we know is going to be a little bit less than 1. 15 divided by 16 equals, there it is, a little bit less than 1. We're going to take this to 3 significant digits because that's what we have in our problem. So we're going to round here to 0.938. So, didn't get my pen tool back out. There we go. Was that 0.938? Was that the answer to that problem? Okay, I'm getting a nod here from my assistants in the editing room. And our unit is moles of oxygen. Moles of oxygen. So we just have one more problem to go. And we'll be done with these examples. How many grams of calcium are in 0.750 moles of calcium? So here is the thing we know. And of course the thing we're looking for is how many grams of calcium is this going to be? Now remember, our conversion factor that we're looking for, we're going to get from the periodic table. 1 mole of calcium is how many grams of calcium? We have to go to the periodic table. Now wouldn't you know it, I'm sitting here without a periodic table. But you're going to go to your periodic table and you're going to find, if you look up there at calcium, Ca, you're going to find here 40 point, you'd think I would have a periodic table handy here, wouldn't you? I want to say it's 40.0. Not sure. You're going to want to check on that, but we're going to use 40 grams for this problem. If I'm wrong, I'll just have to record the whole thing over again, won't I? Okay, so that's our conversion factor. So we're going to use 0.750. This is what we're starting with, 7.50 moles of calcium. And my producer assistant here just brought me a periodic table. Yeah, 40.08 if we round that. So that's perfect. Thank you, producer. 0.8. So that's the number of grams of calcium in 1 mole. And I need the mole to factor out. So I'm going to put mole of calcium on the bottom. And on the top, I want my new unit to be, let's see, what am I looking for in the unknown? Grams of calcium. So I'm going to put grams of calcium up on the top. So 1 mole is 40.08 grams. Now, let's see if I closed my calculator. No, I didn't. There it is. This is a good thing. So, looks like we are simply multiplying here again. 0.750 times 40.08. It didn't go in well. 40.08. Sometimes I have trouble with this calculator and this pen. Maybe I should just type in the number. 40.08. That worked. Let's see if we multiplied those. That's like 3/4 of 40, so it should be somewhere around 30, right? So 30.06. We're going to go to 3 sig figs. So we're going to round that to 30.1. And these units canceled, so we're in grams of calcium. Oh, for my easy button. But that really isn't too bad, is it? Some people really struggle with this idea of moles, and some of you will as well. Don't make it harder than it is. It's just another conversion factor.